as the judge read the words that no one expected to hear. Prince Andrew, a man who once lived a life of luxury and power, was sentenced to life in prison. Once surrounded by royal comfort and fame, now he would face years locked away behind bars. The decision shocked the world. How could someone so powerful fall so far? For years, people whispered about the secrets hidden behind palace walls, and now, those secrets were coming to light. No more special treatment, no more protection from the law. His story, once filled with wealth and attention, had turned into a story of loss and punishment. This wasn't just the fall of a prince. It was the fall of a man who thought he could escape the truth. His life, once so carefully controlled, had unraveled, and now, it was all over. The world would watch as he faced the consequences of his actions. A life of luxury had come to a shocking and permanent end. What was once a fairy tale life was now a cautionary tale for all to see. Background on Prince Andrew's legal troubles. This story starts years ago, but the world really took notice when Prince Andrew's name was linked to Jeffrey Epstein. Epstein was a rich and powerful man who was later found guilty of abusing young girls. One of the girls, Virginia Giuffre, said that Prince Andrew had abused her too, when she was just 17. At first, it sounded like a rumor, but then more and more people started talking. Virginia claimed that Epstein forced her to sleep with Prince Andrew 3 times. Each time she said she felt scared and powerless. Prince Andrew denied everything. He said he didn't even remember meeting Virginia, but a photo came out, a famous one. It showed Prince Andrew with his arm around Virginia's waist. Ghislaine Maxwell, who was later jailed for her part in the abuse, was in the background. That photo raised a lot of eyebrows. In 2019, Prince Andrew did something that shocked many. He went on TV. It was a BBC interview. People thought he would use it to clear his name, but instead, it made things worse. Much worse. He didn't show much emotion. He said strange things, like how he didn't sweat. He claimed that on one of the nights Virginia mentioned, he was at a Pizza Express with his daughter. Viewers were stunned. His answers didn't make sense. The interview quickly became a joke online, but for the victims, it wasn't funny. It was painful. After that, things started to fall apart. Just a few days later, the palace announced that Prince Andrew would be stepping down from royal duties. He wouldn't represent the Queen anymore. That meant no public events, no military titles, no working for charities. For someone born into royalty, it was a huge fall. Then, in 2022, after Queen Elizabeth passed away, the new king, Charles III, made things more final. All of Andrew's remaining ties to royal life were cut. His military titles were removed. He lost his patronages. The royal family tried to quietly erase him from the public eye. Later, Prince Andrew reached a settlement with Virginia Giuffre. He agreed to pay her millions of pounds, but he didn't admit guilt. Still, the damage was done. People believed the worst. The headlines were everywhere. The court of public opinion had made up its mind. The turning point. Just when people thought the story was over, something happened. A turning point. A moment that changed everything. It began with whispers, then protests. People were angry that Andrew had never faced criminal charges. Social media exploded. News channels ran special reports. Victims' rights groups pushed hard for justice. No one is above the law, they said. Not even royalty. Lawyers in the US and the UK started reviewing the case again. They looked at old files, old testimonies, and then came the bombshell. New evidence had surfaced. Emails, phone logs, travel records. Even more shocking, new witnesses came forward. One former royal staff member claimed he saw Prince Andrew behaving in ways that deeply disturbed him. A former Epstein associate testified that Andrew was more involved than anyone ever knew. The story took on a new life. International pressure mounted. Politicians in both countries called for action. Soon, prosecutors announced that they were reopening a full criminal investigation. It was serious now. Finally, in a historic move, charges were filed. Prince Andrew was formally accused of multiple crimes: child trafficking, sexual abuse, conspiracy, and obstruction of justice. The world was stunned. This wasn't just a royal scandal anymore. It was a criminal case. The trial was unlike anything we've seen before. Cameras were not allowed inside the courtroom, but that didn't stop the world from watching. Every day, reporters stood outside, live streaming updates. Every night, people waited for the headlines on one side, the prosecution. They brought everything: witnesses, documents, photos. They painted a picture of a man who used his power to hide dark secrets. They said he had helped Epstein find young girls, that he knew what was going on and didn't stop it. On the other side, Prince Andrew's lawyers. They argued that he was innocent, that he was being targeted because he was a royal, that the memories of witnesses were flawed, but the public wasn't convinced. Then came the emotional part. When victims took the stand, some cried, some shook. One said, "I looked up to him. He was a prince, and he ruined my life." Another said, "He laughed when I cried." Their words were powerful, heartbreaking. There was one dramatic moment when Virginia Giuffre herself testified. She spoke clearly and calmly. She said, "I'm not here for money. I'm here because I want the truth to matter." Her words echoed around the world. Cross-examinations were fierce. The defense tried to poke holes, but it didn't work. The jury listened, carefully. After weeks of testimony and thousands of pages of evidence, the jury came back with their verdict: guilty, on all counts, every single one. The courtroom fell silent. Then, outside, a wave of emotion. Some people cried, some cheered, some just stood in shock. The sentencing came a few weeks later. The courtroom was full. Victims sat in the front row. Journalists packed the back. One by one, victims read statements. They talked about sleepless nights, about shame, about pain that never goes away. One said, "I lost my childhood, but today, I get a little piece of justice back." The prosecutor asked for the maximum sentence. "This was not a mistake," she said. "This was a pattern, a cover-up, a betrayal of trust." Then the judge spoke. His words were strong and calm. "You were born into privilege, but you used that power to hurt the powerless. Today, that privilege ends." He sentenced Prince Andrew to life in prison. No parole, no chance of early release. A royal prince, now a prisoner. The reaction was immediate. Some people were relieved. Others were angry that it took so long. But most agreed, it was historic. Impact on the royal family. The royal family responded with silence at first. No statement, no interviews, just silence. Then, a short message from the palace. "The Duke of York has been stripped of all titles and honors. He no longer represents the crown in any capacity." That was it. Cold. Final. For King Charles, it was a nightmare. His own brother, now a convicted criminal. He had to choose between loyalty and duty. And he chose the crown. Inside the palace, sources said morale was low, staff were shaken. Even some royals reportedly refused to speak to Andrew again. Public trust in the monarchy took a hit. Polls showed more and more people calling for change. Some said the monarchy should be modernized. Others said it should end entirely. Old wounds reopened. Memories of Princess Diana, of other royal scandals. The image of a perfect, noble family was gone, replaced with one of secrets, silence, and shame. What happens next? Prince Andrew is now serving time at HMP Wakefield, one of the UK's most secure prisons. It's known as the Monster Mansion, because of the criminals held there. For a man who once dined with world leaders, it's a different life now. He wears a uniform, eats prison food, lives in a small cell. He's not Prince Andrew anymore. He's just another inmate. He gets no special treatment, no royal visits, no titles. Even his security detail is gone. Some insiders say the royal family will never speak of him again. His name has been removed from royal websites, his portraits taken down. It's like he never existed. And what about the system? This case has sparked big questions. Should royals have legal immunity? Should victims have more rights? Laws may soon change to make sure this never happens again. Some charities are pushing for a Royal Accountability Act. Others want a full inquiry into royal finances and behavior. One thing is certain, the world will never see Prince Andrew the same way again. As the final chapter of Prince Andrew's story closes, the world is left with a powerful reminder of how actions, no matter how hidden, always find a way to surface. His life, once defined by royalty and privilege, is now forever marked by the choices he made. If this shocking turn of events has left you questioning everything you thought you knew, make sure to subscribe for more updates and in-depth coverage of the stories that change history. You won't want to miss what's coming next.
King Charles and Queen Camilla are in Australia for the first visit by a reigning British monarch.
Tonight, Britain's Queen Camilla is missing from remembrance events honoring the country's war dead.
When King Charles and Queen Camilla took the throne, they seemed like a perfect power couple, ready to lead the monarchy into a new era. However, behind their calm image lies a story filled with ambition, hidden motives, and power struggles in the royal family. Palace insiders have been talking about Queen Camilla's growing influence behind the scenes, which has reportedly led to tension with the king himself. How did a once supportive partner become a challenger for power in the palace? Join us as we uncover the surprising, untold details of Queen Camilla's rise to prominence. Camilla and Charles's relationship. Charles and Camilla's story began in the early 1970s, long before either of them imagined the intense public scrutiny they'd face. Charles, then a young prince, met Camilla Shand at a polo match. She was charming, confident, and known for her humor, which Charles found refreshing compared to the formality surrounding him. They shared an instant bond with a natural chemistry that neither could ignore. But as the Prince of Wales, Charles faced family pressures over whom he should choose as a partner. A woman from a suitable background, with a clear reputation and without past relationships, was what the royal family expected. Yet despite these pressures, Charles couldn't seem to let go of Camilla. What happened next would change everything. Charles and Camilla's relationship was strong, but he wasn't free to choose as he wished. Pressured by royal duties and expectations, Charles had to put his role before his personal life. Camilla, aware of the limitations that came with his position, eventually married Andrew Parker Bowles, a British Army officer. Their relationship was now officially over, but Charles couldn't simply move on from the deep connection he felt with her. Despite the ending, they continued to write letters, call each other, and occasionally meet, keeping their bond alive even from a distance. As years passed, Charles remained in contact with Camilla even as he prepared to marry Lady Diana Spencer, a match his family deemed ideal for the future king. However, his feelings for Camilla had not disappeared, and this lingering affection would lead to complications. The marriage to Diana was intended to represent continuity for the monarchy. But with his emotions still tied to Camilla, Charles faced an inner struggle. He was torn between the woman he was expected to be with and the woman he loved. Charles's loyalty to Camilla persisted in secrecy, but its impact on his marriage to Diana became visible. Camilla, though not officially part of his life, was present in his thoughts, creating tension that would eventually break through the public's perception of a fairy tale marriage. The secretive bond between Charles and Camilla cast a shadow that grew over time, leading to public speculation and setting the stage for one of the most controversial relationships in royal history. Their story, though forbidden by tradition, duty, and public opinion, would not stay hidden forever. If you are wondering how it turned out, keep watching. Challenges and controversies over the years. As Charles and Diana's marriage faced increasing struggles, rumors of an affair between Charles and Camilla began to surface. By the late 1980s, the British press had begun covering their relationship, with stories about their closeness gradually taking over headlines. The public was captivated by this scandal, one that involved the future king and the woman who had once been his longtime companion. In 1992, Diana's authorized biography was published, exposing her side of the story and giving voice to the difficulties in her marriage. One of the most painful revelations was Charles's ongoing relationship with Camilla, something Diana had struggled with privately for years. These revelations instantly captured global media attention, and the public's fascination with the love triangle intensified. It was the beginning of a period of intense scrutiny that would affect them all for years. The revelations didn't stop there. In 1993, a private phone conversation between Charles and Camilla, later dubbed Camillagate, was leaked to the press. This tape confirmed the intimate nature of their relationship and threw fuel on the fire. The public, already angry over the affair, found themselves outraged as Charles, the future king, seemed to breach both his marriage vows and the public's trust. The scandal cast doubt on his character and leadership. While Diana was viewed as the victim, Camilla, a relatively private figure until that point, was now vilified by the media. She was quickly branded as the other woman, a label that would stick with her for years. The fallout from the affair also affected Camilla's marriage to Andrew Parker Bowles, which was already under strain. By 1995, the couple's relationship officially ended in divorce, another painful chapter in the public saga. The disintegration of her marriage exposed just how much Charles and Camilla's bond was impacting their personal lives. For Camilla, the affair led to both a public and private cost. She lost her marriage and, by extension, a private life outside the media's reach. With the public's growing interest, the royal family itself began to face more difficult questions. For the British public, These constant revelations led to doubts about the future of the monarchy itself. Charles, bound to inherit the throne, found himself in an increasingly difficult position. His personal choices and relationships had become subjects of national debate, challenging his image as the future king. With each passing year, his suitability as a leader seemed less clear. Camilla, despite her silence, was no longer simply a private individual. She had become a controversial figure, a symbol of the challenges faced by the royal family when tradition collided with personal desires. However, over time, the public perception of Charles and Camilla began to shift. As their story continued to unfold, it revealed how they would, against all odds, seek redemption and attempt to rebuild their relationship with both the public and the royal family. Finding public acceptance. After years of being cast as the villain in the media, Camilla faced an uphill battle for public acceptance. The scandal surrounding her relationship with Charles left many people questioning her intentions, and even her suitability to stand beside the future king. Yet, over time, both she and Charles undertook efforts to reshape public perception. Slowly, they began appearing together more often. Starting with low-profile outings and gradually moving to public events, they were careful not to rush, aware that pushing too fast could only reignite criticism. Their strategy aimed at building acceptance through a genuine visible bond that felt natural rather than forced. It wasn't an easy process. Even as public displays became more frequent, the shadow of Diana's legacy was ever present. Charles and Camilla's every move was analyzed, and the public remained skeptical. Despite these challenges, Camilla worked quietly to change opinions, often through small gestures. She engaged in charitable work, focusing on causes that were close to her heart, including animal welfare and literacy programs. Over time, her public appearances showed a woman who wasn't chasing fame, but who wanted to support meaningful causes. This approach, though understated, began shifting opinions in her favor. In 2005, Charles and Camilla's relationship took a major step forward when they married in a civil ceremony. This event marked the first time a British monarch-to-be married outside a religious setting, a necessary choice given the circumstances. Although the marriage wasn't celebrated with the same grandeur as other royal weddings, it symbolized a turning point. Many saw it as a respectful step that allowed Charles and Camilla to move forward, closing a painful chapter. With the marriage, Camilla received the title Duchess of Cornwall rather than Princess of Wales, a decision made out of respect for Diana's enduring memory. After the wedding, both Camilla and Charles continued their gradual path toward public acceptance. Camilla took on more royal responsibilities, showing that she was committed to supporting the monarchy and Charles's future reign. Her dedication to charity work and her unassuming demeanor contrasted with the image of a home wrecker painted years earlier. Though acceptance was far from unanimous, a growing number of people began to see her differently. Their path toward redemption wasn't without setbacks, but the couple's patience seemed to work in their favor. Yet even with public opinion softening, new challenges were rising. How would Camilla fare as queen alongside Charles, and would they overcome lingering doubts? Keep watching to find out, preparing for life as queen. With their marriage and gradual acceptance by the public, Camilla and Charles began focusing on the future. As Charles prepared for his role as king, it became clear that Camilla's role would also be significant. Camilla, once seen as an outsider, had to prepare herself for life as the queen consort. Over the years, she attended numerous public events, ceremonies, and diplomatic gatherings, acclimating to the pressures of royal duties. Observers noted her increasing confidence, as well as the comfort she seemed to bring to Charles during challenging public appearances. These moments highlighted her evolution from a controversial figure to a steady support for the future king. Camilla's transition wasn't only about public appearances. She also needed to win the trust of key figures within the royal institution. Many senior members of the monarchy had once opposed her presence, fearing she would disrupt the stability of the family. Camilla worked tirelessly behind the scenes, often engaging with staff, diplomats, and officials, showing her commitment to supporting Charles and the monarchy's future. Her dedication to charity and her diplomatic approach were recognized and respected, with some even calling her a calming presence within the family. Despite her progress, the issue of titles lingered. When Charles eventually ascended the throne, many wondered what title Camilla would take. The title Queen Camilla sparked debate, as some still questioned her place within the monarchy's future. However, as Charles publicly supported her, Declaring his desire for her to be known as Queen Consort, the conversation took a new direction. The endorsement by Queen Elizabeth II herself in her later years also helped, sending a strong signal that Camilla had the institution's acceptance at the highest level. Camilla's life as Queen Consort would not only involve supporting Charles, but also embodying the values of the British monarchy. She needed to show that her love for Charles was matched by her commitment to duty. And with growing responsibilities, Camilla faced pressures to meet the high expectations that came with her new role. As public opinion softened, and as she gained further respect within the monarchy, Camilla seemed ready for the role she'd once never imagined would be hers. The journey was far from over. Camilla's past would always be part of her story, but her commitment to her new role showed resilience and adaptability. What legacy would she leave, and how would she be remembered? There's more ahead. Keep watching to uncover the best part of this story. Queen Consort. As Charles ascended to the throne, Camilla officially became Queen Consort, a role she'd cautiously approached. Though public opinion had softened over the years, Camilla's transition was still met with mixed reactions. She faced a challenge, winning over skeptics while fulfilling the responsibilities that came with her title. Yet Camilla didn't aim for a grand reinvention. Rather, she focused on embodying a steady and supportive presence alongside Charles, following the approach that had earned her respect gradually over the years. Camilla's style as Queen Consort was marked by subtlety. She didn't chase the spotlight, choosing instead to highlight important causes, especially issues of domestic violence, literacy, and animal welfare. In her speeches, she spoke from the heart, often referencing her own experiences. Many saw her as authentic, someone who hadn't grown up in royalty but was dedicated to her responsibilities. This approach was intended to connect with people beyond the confines of royal expectations, bridging her role with the real issues many people faced. While Camilla's low-key approach resonated with some, her position still sparked debates within the public. She was filling the shoes of Queen Elizabeth II, who had set a standard for duty and service during her long reign. Camilla, in her unique way, acknowledged this legacy, often referencing the former queen's influence and respect. Despite their vastly different backgrounds, Camilla sought to carry on traditions that honored the monarchy's values, creating a balance between continuity and her distinctive style. Interestingly, Charles's own approach to kingship seemed to adapt to Camilla's calm influence. Known for his outspoken nature on topics such as environmental issues and architecture, Charles became more measured and less confrontational as he settled into his role. Some insiders noted that Camilla's steady support allowed him to handle his duties with a sense of calm that had not always characterized him in his public life. As Queen Consort, Camilla found that she now had to manage relationships with other royal family members. Her role required both diplomacy and discretion, especially as she worked to support Charles's vision for the monarchy's future. Camilla managed these relationships carefully, aware that any misstep could lead to fresh controversy. She had faced enough public criticism to understand the importance of patience and restraint in her new role. Yet Camilla's greatest challenge was maintaining her identity in a public role defined by its expectations. Balancing public duties with her own interests and convictions proved delicate, but rather than conforming entirely to the role, Camilla managed to bring her personality into her work. By focusing on causes close to her heart and supporting Charles in a way that felt genuine, Camilla found a path forward. As Camilla settled into her new role, many wondered if the public's trust would hold. Would she overcome the last of the barriers to acceptance, or were there still hurdles ahead? Keep watching as we reveal the next steps in Camilla's journey. Challenges in the royal family. As Queen Consort, Camilla's journey included managing the complexities of the royal family. The royal family has always been a tight-knit, traditional institution, and Camilla's entry, though gradual, still stirred emotions. Family ties within royalty are sometimes less about affection and more about loyalty, protocol, and duty. Camilla faced the challenge of managing these connections while maintaining her personal dignity and the public's respect. Her relationship with Charles's sons, William and Harry, was especially delicate. Both men held deep affection for their mother, Diana, and their bond with Camilla was understandably complicated. For years, Camilla and Charles had worked to bridge the gaps, ensuring that she didn't step into Diana's role. But now, with her elevated position, Camilla's relationship with Charles's sons would inevitably affect the royal family's unity in the public's eyes. To maintain harmony, Camilla was cautious in her interactions with the younger generation. She avoided any attempt to mother William and Harry, respecting their relationship with Diana. Instead, she positioned herself as a supportive figure, someone present but not overbearing. Her careful approach worked to an extent, as the public rarely saw any outward discord among the royal family. However, tensions did surface from time to time, especially as Harry's decisions took him further from the monarchy's fold. With Prince Harry's move to the United States and his public remarks about the family, Camilla found herself drawn into discussions about royal loyalty and family unity. She had no wish to fuel the controversy, yet her position required her to support Charles through these turbulent times. In private, Camilla's influence seemed to help Charles maintain his composure amidst criticism. Her steady presence allowed him to focus on his responsibilities, avoiding public backlash while handling family challenges diplomatically. Meanwhile, Camilla's presence in the royal family faced other tests. Members with strong opinions about monarchy tradition questioned her role, even if subtly. Queen Elizabeth's support had helped to secure her position, but with Charles now leading, Camilla found that she needed to establish her influence independently. She was now seen as a key partner to Charles in his vision for a slimmed-down monarchy, an idea that stirred both support and resistance within the royal circles. Camilla's handling of these family challenges revealed her careful balance between discretion and influence. She made no attempts to assert authority, instead focusing on upholding the family's values as Charles's confidant. Despite the obvious tensions, Camilla managed to remain elegant, showing an ability to adapt to the ever-changing dynamics within the royal family. But would Camilla's balancing act last as the family faced new challenges? Could her approach continue to smooth internal conflicts and reinforce public respect, gaining respect from the British public? Over time, Camilla's careful approach in her role as queen consort began to earn her respect from segments of the British public. The journey had been long and complicated, but her dedication to her duties and her steady support of Charles had slowly reshaped her image. Initially cast as an outsider, Camilla now found herself in a position of trust, recognized for her efforts rather than overshadowed by past scandals. Her dedication to charitable work played an important role in this transformation. Camilla's causes, domestic violence awareness, literacy, and animal rights, showed her compassion for issues affecting everyday people. She visited shelters and organizations, often speaking candidly about the struggles faced by those in need. Her openness resonated with audiences, and the public gradually saw her as more than just a royal figure, but as someone who genuinely cared. Camilla's public speeches also helped build a connection. Known for being nervous about speaking, she worked hard to improve her public speaking skills, tackling issues that mattered to her with sincerity. Her words were rarely grandiose, but always heartfelt, a quality that made her seem relatable. This vulnerability resonated with people who saw that, beneath the royal title, she was a person with fears and strengths like anyone else. As her reputation improved, media portrayals of Camilla shifted. Tabloids, which once scrutinized her every move, began covering her contributions in a more positive light. While not all coverage was favorable, there was an undeniable change in tone. Camilla had, in many ways, proven herself not only as Charles's partner, but also as a committed public figure. This change wasn't dramatic, but rather a gradual evolution that showcased her resilience. Meanwhile, Camilla's role as a grandmother also softened her image. Stories and anecdotes about her relationships with her grandchildren, both biological and step-grandchildren, showed a nurturing side. The public glimpsed a woman who balanced royal duties with family warmth, portraying her as a grandmother figure who cherished family moments. These stories added a personal touch to her public persona, further distancing her from the controversies of the past. While many had come to accept her, there remained those who held on to past perceptions. Camilla's journey to gain full acceptance is still ongoing, marked by both respect and skepticism from the public. Yet her ability to endure criticism and continue supporting her causes speaks volumes. So, do you think Queen Camilla's influence is a necessary strength or a risk to the monarchy?
The palace has just issued this statement.
And although you kind of know that this might happen,
Queen Camilla has done the unthinkable. In a move that no one saw coming, she has reportedly handed over her royal title to Princess Anne, leaving the entire royal family and fans around the world in shock. The surprising decision comes after years of tension, history, and a complicated relationship between the two women. Many are asking, why would Camilla make such a bold move now? Is it a gesture of respect or something more? Camilla's journey from Duchess of Cornwall to Queen Consort. Camilla's journey from the Duchess of Cornwall to Queen Consort is a remarkable story filled with ups and downs. Many people remember her as the woman who faced a lot of scrutiny and criticism, but her life has taken a surprising turn. How did the woman once viewed with suspicion become a respected figure in the royal family? When Camilla Shand married Prince Charles in 2005, she stepped into a challenging role. At that time, she was known as the Duchess of Cornwall. This title was given to her because of the strong feelings many had about her relationship with Charles and his late wife, Princess Diana. Diana was loved by the public, and many people saw her as the people's princess. Camilla had to navigate through a cloud of negative opinions and media scrutiny, making her new life even more difficult. Despite the challenges, Camilla focused on her royal duties. She dedicated herself to charity work, becoming involved in various causes such as literacy, healthcare, and animal rights. Camilla showed a genuine passion for helping others, which gradually changed the public's perception of her. People began to see her hard work and commitment to her causes. Could this be the turning point in her journey? The turning point came with the passing of Queen Elizabeth II in September 2022. This event marked a significant change in the royal family. Before her death, Queen Elizabeth had announced that Camilla would be known as Queen Consort when Charles ascended the throne. This decision was crucial. It showed that Camilla had earned her place beside her husband and was accepted by the royal family. As Queen Consort, Camilla has taken on even more responsibilities. She attends important events, supports charities, and represents the monarchy in various ways. Her role is vital, especially as the monarchy looks to modernize and connect with the public. Many wonder how she will shape her new position. Will she bring fresh ideas to the royal family, or will she follow in the footsteps of her predecessors? Camilla's journey is a powerful reminder that change is possible. From being a figure of controversy, she has transformed into a respected royal. Her story teaches us that with hard work, determination, and a willingness to adapt, anyone can find their place and make a difference. As she embraces her role as Queen Consort, many will be watching closely to see how she continues to evolve and contribute to the monarchy. Princess Anne's early opposition to Camilla's role. Princess Anne, the only daughter of Queen Elizabeth II, has always been known for her strong opinions and no-nonsense attitude. When it comes to her brother, King Charles III, and his wife Camilla, her feelings have been a topic of much interest. Early on, Princess Anne had a clear stance against Camilla's role in the royal family. Why did she oppose Camilla so strongly? And how has their relationship changed over time? When Charles married Camilla in 2005, many people were unsure about their relationship. Camilla was the woman who had been involved in a love triangle with Charles and his first wife, Princess Diana. This history made it difficult for some members of the royal family, including Princess Anne, to accept her. Anne was known to have reservations about Camilla taking on a significant role in the monarchy. Reports suggest that she once said, "Camilla will never be a true queen." This statement highlighted Anne's skepticism about Camilla's position. The tension between Anne and Camilla was not just about titles, it also stemmed from their personalities. Camilla, who had been in the public eye for years, found Anne's demeanor to be rather icy. In turn, Anne seemed to keep her distance from Camilla, preferring to avoid interactions whenever possible. Their relationship was described as frosty, with Anne reportedly keeping away from Camilla as much as she could. However, things began to change over time. As the years passed, Anne started to see the hard work Camilla put into her royal duties. Camilla dedicated herself to various charities and causes, showing a commitment to the monarchy that Anne could not ignore. Many royal watchers noted that Anne gradually became more accepting of Camilla, recognizing her efforts and dedication. The shift in their relationship raises questions about how family dynamics can evolve. Can time and shared responsibilities help heal old wounds? As Camilla took on more duties, including her role as Queen Consort following the passing of Queen Elizabeth II, Anne's perspective seemed to soften. Today, while Anne may not have completely changed her mind about Camilla, there is a sense of mutual respect that has developed between them. Their journey shows that even within the royal family, relationships can grow and change over time. As they both embrace their roles, many are curious to see how their relationship will continue to evolve in the future. Will they become allies in the modern monarchy? Only time will tell that. The shared history with Andrew Parker Bowles. The story of Camilla and Princess Anne is intertwined with a man named Andrew Parker Bowles, creating a complicated web of relationships within the royal family. This shared history adds layers to their interactions and sheds light on why their relationship has been so complex. How did Andrew Parker Bowles impact the dynamics between Camilla and Anne? And what does their past reveal about royal relationships? Andrew Parker Bowles was a British Army officer, and he had a significant role in both Camilla and Anne's lives. In the early 1970s, he dated Princess Anne. Their relationship lasted several years, but it eventually came to an end because Andrew's Catholic faith made it difficult for him to marry into the royal family. Despite their breakup, Anne and Andrew remained friends, and he even became godfather to Anne's second child. Their bond shows that, despite the challenges of royal life, friendships can endure. Meanwhile, Camilla was also connected to Andrew. She married him in 1973, and they had 2 children together before their marriage ended in 1995. During this time, both women were part of the same social circles, and their lives often crossed paths. As Camilla's relationship with Charles developed, it created a complicated situation for everyone involved. Many people were aware of the love triangle between Charles, Diana, and Camilla, but Anne's history with Andrew added another layer of tension. The connection with Andrew Parker Bowles led to a certain awkwardness between Anne and Camilla. Reports suggest that Anne felt uncomfortable around Camilla, especially considering their shared past with Andrew. This tension was evident in their early interactions, which were often described as frosty. It's not unusual for past relationships to create complications in family dynamics, and this was no exception. However, as time went on, both women began to navigate their unique roles within the royal family. Camilla worked hard to earn respect and acceptance, while Anne focused on her duties as a royal. Over time, they both realized that they needed to put aside personal history for the sake of their shared responsibilities. This shared history with Andrew Parker Bowles raises important questions about how relationships evolve. Can past connections be set aside for the greater good? As Camilla and Anne both embrace their roles in the modern monarchy, many are left wondering how their relationship will continue to grow. Will they find common ground, or will the shadows of their past linger on? Only time will reveal the answer. The public's divided opinion on Camilla as Queen Consort. When Camilla became Queen Consort, it was a moment filled with mixed feelings among the public. For some, it was an opportunity to celebrate a new chapter in the royal family. For others, it stirred up old memories and emotions, especially related to Princess Diana. How can one woman evoke such strong and divided opinions? Let's explore the reasons behind the public's reactions to Camilla's role as Queen Consort. Camilla Shan's journey to becoming Queen Consort was not an easy one. When she first emerged as Prince Charles's partner, many people were quick to judge her. The shadow of Diana loomed large, as Diana was beloved by the public and remembered for her grace and compassion. Many felt that Camilla had come between Charles and Diana, leading to a lot of animosity toward her. This complicated history made it hard for some to accept her new title. Despite the past, Camilla worked hard to change public perception. Over the years, she engaged in numerous charitable activities, focusing on issues like literacy, health, and animal welfare. Her dedication and genuine efforts began to win over some people. Many started to see her as a committed royal who genuinely cares about her duties. However, the question remained: could Camilla ever truly win the hearts of those who still held on to their feelings for Diana? The announcement of Camilla's title as Queen Consort after the passing of Queen Elizabeth II also brought mixed reactions. While some celebrated the recognition of Camilla's hard work and dedication, others felt it was a painful reminder of the past and questioned whether she deserved such a title. The emotional connection many people have to Diana makes it difficult for them to fully embrace Camilla as queen. Social media has played a big role in shaping public opinion. Online platforms often buzz with discussions about the royal family, and Camilla is no exception. Supporters praise her efforts and commitment, while critics voice their discontent. This division reflects the broader feelings in society, where some people are ready to move on and embrace change, while others cling to the past. Ultimately, Camilla's journey as queen consort is still unfolding. The public's opinion remains divided, and only time will tell how she will be remembered. Will she carve out her own identity in the monarchy, or will she always be seen through the lens of the past? As she continues her royal duties, many are eager to see how she navigates this complex landscape, and whether she can bridge the gap between old feelings and new beginnings. Queen Elizabeth's decision to support Camilla's role. Queen Elizabeth II's decision to support Camilla as queen consort was a pivotal moment in the history of the British monarchy. This endorsement came after years of public scrutiny and mixed feelings about Camilla's position. What led the Queen to make such a significant choice, and what does it mean for the royal family moving forward? For many years, Camilla faced a tough road to acceptance. When she married Prince Charles in 2005, public opinion was divided. Many people still remembered her as the woman who played a role in the breakdown of Charles's marriage to Princess Diana. This dark shadow loomed over Camilla for a long time, making it difficult for her to find her place in the royal family. However, Queen Elizabeth recognized that Camilla had worked hard to earn respect and acceptance. As the years went by, Camilla became more involved in royal duties and charitable work. She showed a genuine commitment to her role, focusing on important causes like literacy, health, and animal welfare. Her dedication did not go unnoticed, and the Queen saw how much Camilla had changed since her early days in the royal spotlight. It became clear to Elizabeth that Camilla was not only a supportive partner for Charles, but also a valuable member of the royal family. The Queen's support for Camilla was finally made clear in February 2022, during a public message marking her Platinum Jubilee. In this heartfelt statement, Queen Elizabeth expressed her wish for Camilla to be known as Queen Consort when Charles became king. This announcement was significant, as it symbolized a shift in royal dynamics and a sign of unity within the family. It was a clear message that Camilla had the Queen's blessing to take on this new role. However, the Queen's decision did not come without controversy. Many royal watchers were left wondering how the public would react. Would the endorsement help heal old wounds, or would it only serve to remind people of the past? The road ahead was uncertain, but the Queen's support was a bold move aimed at bringing stability to the monarchy. As Camilla stepped into her role as Queen Consort after the passing of Queen Elizabeth, her journey continues. The Queen's decision to support her was a significant turning point, allowing Camilla to embrace her duties with confidence. Will she be able to redefine her image and carve out a respected place in royal history? Only time will tell if this new chapter will be embraced by the public, or if the echoes of the past will linger on. Anne's recognition of Camilla's dedication to the monarchy. Princess Anne, known for her strong character and straightforward nature, has always been a key figure in the British royal family. Over the years, her relationship with Camilla, Queen Consort, has evolved, especially as Anne began to recognize Camilla's dedication to the monarchy. What led to this change in Anne's perspective, and how has it impacted their relationship? Initially, Anne had reservations about Camilla when she first entered the royal scene. Many in the royal family felt the lingering effects of the past, especially regarding the complicated history between Charles, Diana, and Camilla. Anne was no exception. She was protective of her family and wary of how Camilla would fit into royal life. The early days of Camilla's marriage to Charles were marked by tension, as Anne seemed to keep her distance, preferring to focus on her own royal duties. However, as time passed, things began to change. Anne started to notice the hard work that Camilla put into her royal responsibilities. Camilla was not just Charles's wife. She was also a dedicated member of the royal family who engaged deeply in charitable work. From supporting literacy programs to championing health initiatives, Camilla showed a genuine commitment to her role. This dedication did not go unnoticed by Anne. One significant moment that highlighted this shift was during public engagements. Anne observed how Camilla interacted with the public, showcasing her warmth and compassion. Over time, it became clear to Anne that Camilla was genuinely invested in her duties and had earned her place within the royal family. This realization marked a turning point in their relationship. Could it be that shared responsibilities could help heal old wounds? As Anne recognized Camilla's efforts, she began to show more support. Their interactions became less formal and more friendly. It was a sign that Anne was willing to put aside past differences for the good of the monarchy. This change in their relationship reflects a broader theme in the royal family: the importance of unity and support among its members. Today, as both women embrace their roles in the monarchy, many royal watchers are eager to see how their relationship will continue to develop. Will they become allies in modernizing the royal family, or will old tensions resurface? The journey of Princess Anne and Camilla is a reminder that even in the royal family, relationships can grow and change over time. Their evolving bond shows the power of recognition and respect within the monarchy, paving the way for a united front as they face the challenges of the future. Camilla's decision to transfer her title to Princess Anne. In a surprising turn of events, Camilla, Queen Consort, has decided to transfer her title to Princess Anne. This decision has left many people talking and wondering what it means for the royal family. Why would Camilla make such a bold choice? And what implications does it hold for the future of the monarchy? Camilla's journey in the royal family has been anything but easy. From the beginning, she faced scrutiny and criticism due to her involvement with Prince Charles during his marriage to Princess Diana. Over the years, she worked hard to earn respect, dedicating herself to charity work and royal duties. As Queen Consort, Camilla embraced her role, but her decision to hand her title to Anne marks a significant shift in the royal landscape. The choice to transfer her title is believed to stem from a desire to strengthen the bonds within the royal family. Camilla has always admired Princess Anne for her strong work ethic and dedication to her royal duties. By passing on her title, Camilla is acknowledging Anne's commitment and contributions to the monarchy. This gesture also signifies unity within the family, especially in a time when the royal institution faces various challenges. Many royal watchers are curious about how this decision will affect Princess Anne. Known for her no-nonsense attitude and dedication, Anne has often been seen as a hard worker who puts her royal responsibilities first. By receiving this title, she is stepping into a new role that recognizes her efforts. Will this new title change how the public sees her? The public reaction to this decision has been mixed. Some people see it as a positive sign of collaboration and support among royal family members. Others, however, are left wondering what this means for Camilla and her future role. Is this transfer a sign that Camilla is stepping back, or is it simply a way to highlight Anne's contributions? As the news spreads, many are eager to see how this change will play out in royal events and engagements. Will Camilla still play a significant role in public life, or will she take a step back to allow Anne to shine? Camilla's decision to transfer her title to Princess Anne is an intriguing development in the royal family's story. It reflects the complexities of royal life and the importance of family ties. As both women move forward in their roles, the world will be watching closely to see how their relationship grows and how they navigate their responsibilities together. Anne's lifelong reputation as the hardest working royal. Princess Anne has earned a reputation as the hardest working royal throughout her life, and for good reason. Known for her strong work ethic and commitment to duty, Anne has dedicated herself to royal responsibilities and charity work in a way that sets her apart from other members of the royal family. What drives her to work so tirelessly, and how has she maintained this impressive reputation over the years? From a young age, Anne showed a deep sense of responsibility. She was not one to shy away from hard work. In fact, she often took on more engagements than many of her family members. While other royals might attend a few events each week, Anne has consistently filled her calendar with public appearances, charity events, and official duties. This dedication has earned her the respect and admiration of many, both in the UK and beyond. One of the key factors that contribute to Anne's reputation is her hands-on approach. She is known for getting involved in various causes, ranging from sports and education to health and animal welfare. As the president of numerous charities, she has made a real impact by promoting causes that matter to her. This personal touch is something that the public appreciates, as it shows her genuine care for the issues she champions. Anne's work ethic is also evident in her ability to balance her royal duties with her personal life. As a mother and grandmother, she has managed to juggle family responsibilities alongside her public role. This balance is not easy, but Anne has shown that she can do it all, proving that hard work and dedication can lead to success. Despite her busy schedule, Anne remains down to earth and approachable. She often engages with the public and is known for her straightforward nature. This authenticity, resonates with people and adds to her appeal as a royal figure. The surprising shift in Anne and Camilla's relationship. The relationship between Princess Anne and Camilla, Queen Consort, has undergone a surprising transformation in recent years. Once marked by tension and uncertainty, their bond has evolved into something more supportive and respectful. What caused this change, and how has it impacted their roles within the royal family? Initially, Anne was skeptical of Camilla when she entered the royal family. Many in the royal circle had mixed feelings about Camilla due to her history with Prince Charles and his late wife, Princess Diana. Anne, protective of her family, was wary of how Camilla would fit into the monarchy. Their early interactions were often described as frosty, with Anne keeping her distance and maintaining a formal demeanor. However, as time went on, Anne began to see the genuine commitment that Camilla showed to her royal duties. Camilla dedicated herself to various charitable causes, working tirelessly to support issues like literacy, health, and animal welfare. Anne, known for her strong work ethic, started to admire Camilla's efforts and dedication. This recognition marked the beginning of a shift in their relationship. One significant moment that highlighted this change occurred during public engagements. As Anne observed Camilla interacting warmly with the public, she recognized the positive impact Camilla was making as a royal. This realization helped Anne appreciate Camilla's role in the monarchy and see her as an ally rather than a rival. As their relationship strengthened, the two women began to support each other more openly. They started attending events together, showcasing a united front within the royal family. This newfound camaraderie reflects a broader theme in the monarchy: the importance of collaboration and unity among its members. Many royal watchers are eager to see how this evolving relationship will continue to develop. Will Anne and Camilla work together to modernize the monarchy and strengthen its connection with the public? Their surprising shift from tension to support is a powerful reminder that relationships can grow and change over time, even within the royal family. As they face new challenges together, the world will be watching closely to see how their bond unfolds. The public and royal family's reaction to Camilla's gesture. When Camilla, Queen Consort, made a heartfelt gesture to support Princess Anne, it sparked a wave of reactions from both the public and the royal family. This act of kindness highlighted the changing dynamics within the monarchy. But how did everyone respond to it? What does this gesture say about Camilla's role in the royal family? Camilla's gesture involved publicly recognizing Anne's hard work and dedication to the royal duties they both share. In a recent event, she made a point to praise Anne's commitment to various charities and her tireless efforts in representing the monarchy. This acknowledgement was seen as a significant move, especially considering the complexities of their relationship in the past. The royal family reacted positively to Camilla's gesture. Many members were impressed by her willingness to uplift another royal, showing a sense of unity that is often needed in such a high-profile family. This act of support was seen as a step toward building stronger relationships among the royals. It emphasized the idea that they are all on the same team, working toward common goals. Public reaction was equally mixed, but largely positive. Many people appreciated Camilla's humility and her recognition of Anne's hard work. Social media buzzed with comments praising Camilla for her kindness. People noted that this gesture showed growth in their relationship and a move toward a more modern monarchy. Some even suggested that it could pave the way for a more united royal family in the future. However, not everyone was convinced. Some critics still held on to past grievances related to Camilla's history with Charles and Diana. They questioned whether this gesture was enough to heal old wounds. The public's complex feelings about Camilla still lingered, making it clear that the royal family has challenges to overcome. Overall, Camilla's gesture was a significant moment that reflected a changing royal landscape. It showcased an effort to foster unity and collaboration within the family. As the monarchy evolves, many are left wondering, will this act of support lead to a stronger bond between Camilla and Anne? And can it redefine how the public views the royal family? Just time will say that.
She was the villain. She was the third person in the marriage. She needed to rehabilitate her image.
The courtroom is silent. Everyone is watching, waiting. Then, something shocking happens. Queen Camilla's face turns pale, her hands shake. Before anyone can react, she falls to the floor. Gasps fill the room. People jump up from their seats. Judges, lawyers, security, everyone is in shock. Just moments ago, she had stood there, waiting to hear her punishment. But as soon as the judge spoke, everything changed. The words hit her like a heavy weight. Her eyes widened, her body swayed. And then, she collapsed. Guards rush to her side. Some people whisper, others just stare. What was said in that courtroom? What kind of sentence was so shocking that it made the Queen fall? The truth behind this moment is something no one saw coming. How did Queen Camilla end up in court? The story of how Queen Camilla ended up in court is truly shocking. It left the whole nation stunned. For years there had been whispers, small rumors in the air about royal money being spent where it shouldn't. But no one ever expected it to blow up like this. It all started with leaked documents. These papers didn't just come out of nowhere. They were leaked by someone who used to work inside the palace. The documents showed that millions of pounds from the royal funds were being used for personal luxuries. Not just normal shopping or gifts, but private jets, secret holidays, and even hush money to cover up past royal scandals. One of the biggest shocks was that the money trail led straight to Queen Camilla. People had always joked about her love for the finer things. But now there was proof. Some claimed she knew about it, others said she didn't. But one thing was clear. This scandal was too big to hide. The public was furious. The cost of living was already hitting everyone hard. Families were struggling to buy groceries, pay bills, and survive. And here was the Queen Consort, using public funds like her own piggy bank. The anger grew every day. Protesters stood outside Buckingham Palace with signs that read, "Not with our money." The media had a field day. Every news channel, every newspaper, every social media platform was full of updates about Camilla's scandal. Every hour brought a new leak or a shocking twist. People couldn't stop watching. The British people felt betrayed, and the pressure on the royal family was at an all-time high. What made things worse was the fact that royals rarely face legal action. The last time the public saw a royal facing legal trouble was when Prince Andrew got caught up in a serious scandal. But even then, the family managed to protect him. This time, however, it was different. The evidence was too strong, and the people were too angry. There was no way out. The case had to go to court. The courtroom drama. The day of the trial felt like a movie. People gathered outside the court from early morning, holding signs and chanting. Reporters from all over the world were there, trying to get a glimpse of the Queen as she walked in. Everyone wanted to see her face. Would she look scared? Would she even show up? As the clock hit 9 a.m., the doors of the courtroom opened. Cameras flashed like crazy, and there she was, Queen Camilla. She wore a black dress and dark sunglasses. Her face was pale, and her lips tight. She didn't smile. She didn't wave. She just walked straight in, ignoring the crowd. But one thing was clear. King Charles was not with her. People noticed. It spoke louder than words. The air inside the courtroom was heavy. You could feel the tension. The prosecution was ready. They laid out every piece of evidence they had. Photos, receipts, bank records, all showing how money meant for charity and public projects had been used for Camilla's personal pleasures. Private island holidays, designer clothes, secret deals, everything was out in the open now. And then came the biggest twist. Statements from palace staff. People who had worked for the Queen stood in front of everyone and spoke. They talked about how they were asked to cover things up. They talked about the threats they received when they refused. One former staff member, with tears in her eyes, said, "We were told to stay silent or lose our jobs. We were scared." Camilla's defense team tried their best. They painted her as a woman who was just a victim of palace politics. They argued that she didn't know where the money was coming from. They said she simply trusted the wrong people. Her lawyer even said, Her Majesty only did what she thought was best for the crown. She never meant to harm anyone. But the damage was done. The court had heard too much. The people had seen too much. Deep down, even Camilla knew. This was not going to end well. The verdict and sentencing. After days of arguments, witness statements, and countless evidence being shown, the moment everyone had been waiting for finally arrived. The courtroom went silent as the judge prepared to deliver the verdict. Cameras zoomed in. Reporters held their breath. Even outside the court, people stood frozen, waiting. The judge began by recapping the case. He spoke about the years of misuse of funds, the lies, and the cover-ups. His voice was cold, firm, and full of disappointment. Then came the words that shook the entire nation. Her Majesty Queen Camilla is found guilty of the charges presented. Gasps echoed across the courtroom. Some cried, others clapped, and then the sentence was announced. Queen Camilla was fined millions of pounds. But that wasn't all. She was sentenced to 2 years of house arrest inside a royal estate. She was also stripped of several royal titles. From that day forward, she would no longer be known as Her Majesty in any official capacity. The camera zoomed in on Camilla's face. Her eyes filled with tears. She looked lost, broken, and humiliated. And then, right there in front of everyone, Camilla collapsed. Her body went limp as she fainted. Gasps filled the courtroom. Reporters shouted. Medical staff rushed in, trying to revive her. Outside, the scene was wild. Protesters cheered. They screamed, "Justice! Finally justice!" But not everyone was happy. Loyal royal supporters stood in tears, clutching pictures of Camilla and the king. It was a moment no one would ever forget. International media jumped on the story. Headlines all over the world screamed, "Queen collapses in court after sentence." The royal family's darkest day was now playing live on every TV screen across the globe. Royal family's response. As news of Camilla's collapse spread, all eyes turned to Buckingham Palace. Everyone wanted to know, how was King Charles reacting? Hours later, a royal spokesperson read out a statement from the king. His words were full of sadness. "My wife is a victim of circumstance. She has been treated unfairly. We will stand by her." But behind the scenes, rumors told a different story. Insiders claimed King Charles was furious. Not just angry, but embarrassed that the woman he loved had dragged the monarchy through the mud. Things got worse when Prince William and Prince Harry reacted. William stayed silent, avoiding reporters, but sources close to him said he was heartbroken and disappointed. Harry, on the other hand, couldn't resist. Meghan posted a cryptic message on Instagram that read, "Karma always knows where to find you." Fans went wild. Was it aimed at Camilla? Many believed it was. Inside the palace, chaos broke out. Senior royal advisors held emergency meetings. Damage control plans were made. The royal family knew they were standing on thin ice. One wrong move, and the monarchy itself could fall. In another statement, the palace promised full cooperation with the law. But the truth was, they were scared. Scared of what this meant for the future. Impact on the monarchy. The impact of the scandal was bigger than anyone could have imagined. Overnight, public support for the royal family dropped. Polls showed shocking results. More than half the country now wanted the monarchy abolished. People were tired. Tired of scandals, tired of secrets, tired of paying for royal luxuries while they struggled to live. Talks began in Parliament about cutting royal funding. Why should taxpayers' money go to a family that misused it? The anger was real, and it was growing every day. The scandal didn't just stop in the UK. Commonwealth countries like Australia and Canada started asking tough questions. Was it time to break ties with the British monarchy? Could they really stand by a royal family involved in such corruption? For Camilla, the future looked bleak. People wondered, would she ever be seen in public again? Could she survive this? Rumors spread that she might lose her queen title forever. Some even said the king was considering exile, sending Camilla away to a private estate far from the public eye. The fairy tale was over. What was left was a royal family in ruins. The aftermath, and what's next. In the days that followed, updates about Camilla's health started to come out. She was recovering at a private estate, far from the cameras. Some sources claimed she was heartbroken. Others said she barely spoke. The once powerful queen consort was now a prisoner in her own palace. Whispers of divorce started floating around. People wondered if King Charles could really stay married to someone who brought so much shame to the crown. But the palace stayed silent, at least for now. Camilla's legal team hinted at a possible appeal. They were still fighting, still hoping to clear her name. But deep down, everyone knew it was over. The bigger picture, however, was scarier. What did this mean for royal accountability? Would future royals also be dragged to court if they messed up? Was this the beginning of the end for the British monarchy? People around the world were watching, waiting, wondering what would happen next. The courtroom may have gone silent, but the questions still remain. What happens next? Will Queen Camilla recover from this shocking moment? And most importantly, what does this sentence mean for the future? One thing is certain, this story is far from over. Make sure to stay updated because there's more to uncover. If you found this video interesting, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next big update. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.